Hi, folks. This is Mountain Man coming to you from parts unknown. I hope everyone's doing well tonight. And, man, what a day. I've been watching all these CNN videos. They got the long KNIFEs out for Pete Hegseth. And they're using war crimes talk and impeachment talk, all kinds of stuff. And you have Mark Kelly come out once again and triple down, double dog dare you to do something to me. So we'll see what happens with that. We don't know what both sides distract, okay? What's a distraction, what's not, but things that aren't being talked about, we're going to talk about to some degree. And also what the strategy is going on here with this. I think it's a very well thought out strategy, tying this incident with the drug vessel and Mark Kelly's actions. But anyway, we're going to get into that. What do? I play videos. I play videos so we get people to come in and relax, get themselves a cup of coffee or a cold brew, or maybe a little glass of wine. I don't know, whatever you want. But anyway, then we'll be like butter and get on roll.
Has Donald Trump called you for advice or talked to you at all? And first of all, you've given him some pretty good advice so far, if you have.
Yeah.
But has he called and talked to you? I would call
no.
you. I was
no, he hasn't. No.
Corralled into this box where we either have to hate Vladimir Putin and believe everything evil that's said about him and love Ukraine, and there's no in between. And that reminds me a lot of you're either a white supremacist or you go with the Democrat narrative on everything under the sun.
The most lethal terrorist threat to the homeland today, white supremacy.
And I want to understand white rage, and I'm white.
I mean, there's as much interference here as you could possibly imagine. Before you even get to Hunter Biden, Nancy Pelosi, John Kerry, Mitt Romney, and all of their children who earn millions from Ukrainian gas companies. These days, it's hard to believe anything because they've lied about COVID, they lied about Russia collusion, they lied about the Ukraine impeachment trial, and there's so much more going on in Ukraine that nobody is talking about.
Does Ukraine have chemical or biological weapons?
My job. Don't like being lied to, and we're being lied to on an epic scale. When we're told your only choice is you have to be 100% with Zelensky. Slava Ukraina, who's a puppet who you can find on the internet in black stilettos and leather pants. Zelensky was selected, like so many of our leaders. And honestly, with big tech and with election fraud these days, we don't know how many leaders all around the world have been selected for us and weren't actually voted in.
How to build back better.
We have to build back better.
Build back better.
If Donald Trump gets the Republican nomination, there are many of us that will move heaven and earth to ensure he doesn't win.
We are fighting the same battles all over the world. To pretend that this war is about Russia and Ukraine is a barefaced lie. Putin has been warning for 15 years that he is not going to stand by while the globalists take over the world, build bioweapons facilities and whatever else they're doing in Ukraine. Ukraine has been a center of money laundering. US dollars have been laundered through Ukraine, and we say nothing about it. Does nobody question these things? We have an idiot like Lieutenant Colonel Vindman.
Mr. Vindman.
Lieutenant Colonel Vindman, please.
Do you always insist on civilians calling you by your rank?
And sits there as a lieutenant colonel. He didn't even make colonel. And he's telling the president of the United States what his policy should be. You have a traitor in the form of Maria Yovanovitch, who was Obama's ambassador, who's telling Ukrainian government officials, don't listen to the will of the American people.
In his July 25th phone call with Ukrainian President Zelensky, the president badmouthed Yovanovitch, calling her bad news.
I was shocked, absolutely shocked.
And then she's given a cushy job for life at Georgetown University, and we're told that the president of the United States cannot say to his foreign counterparts that we want you to look into something.
If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Oh, son of a bitch. And they put in place someone who was solid.
So much hypocrisy and dishonesty here, and Ukraine is at the center of it all.
You want to play this? Okay. Come on. Okay.
You want to play rough? Okay. Say hello to my little friend. storm zone.
Yes, sir.
I'm wondering what storm you're talking about.
They have unsuccessfully tried to take down the wrong person.
He's absolutely going to come back with full vengeance the next time around.
I think about what 4 years of a retribution presidency might look like. Our Constitution really does give the president tremendous power to destroy. This will be something we could never have imagined.
Now the gloves are off. Some of Trump's close political allies told him they are working on figuring out the identities of the FBI and DOJ staff and forming lists.
Completely overhaul DOJ to investigate every radical DA and AG in America for their illegal, racist enforcement of the law. The deep state is destroying our nation, but the tables must turn and we will quickly destroy the deep state. We know where the bodies are buried. There are a lot of people out there that have done some very, very evil things, very bad things, I would say treasonous things against our country. People that have done such harm to our country. I've been looking at them for a long time.
He could order the investigation and prosecution of individuals who he sees as enemies.
Put them all in jail where they belong. You gotta get tough and smart, and you have to fight fire with fire. You can't allow this to go on. And I will be the one to clean it up. I am your retribution. We will take care of it. We will take care of it.
Hi, folks. We're going to take care of it. Yes, indeed, we will. How is everyone tonight? Let me put this on the screen for you all to get a screenshot and put this on your meta page. This and many other things are going on behind the scenes. And Trump had a phone call with Maduro, so we'll get into that. Hi, Linda. How are you doing? Whoa. I should start from the bottom and go to the top. I don't know. My chats keep ricocheting back. Bill, how you doing? Sissy, Darla, Colette. Nice to see you. Randy, Robin, Gary's here. Ha ha. Wayne said, give me a thumbs up. Yes, you're right, Wayne. Anthrax is here. Todd's here. No, I already said Todd, didn't I? No, I didn't. And Wayne's here. Yes, saying, give me a thumbs up. Let's see. Rebecca, nice to see you. Pappy Two Bears. Outlandish, nice to see you. Cole. Linda Marie's here. All right. Who'd I miss? Flannel Cheese. Is Flannel Cheese here? Yeah. Oh, I called. All right. Anthrax is Flannel Cheese. Okay, you got numbers, but you don't have any numbers behind your handle, do you? We still haven't figured out what's going on with those numbers. But anyway, what do you see on the screen? What do you see on the screen? This came out, was it yesterday or the day before? I had it in my studio. It's something simmering on the stove. The FBI kitchen. The FBI's Election Integrity Division has uncovered more than 300 private emails between Kamala Harris and Georgie Sorgie's Poriosio. That should have been public record. Well, can we see them? Kind of like the Epstein files. She said she was the vice president and a presidential candidate at the time, receiving full briefings. Oh my gosh. Is that a hint? Was she disclosing briefings to this entity you see on the screen here? I tell you, Oh, we'll just keep on waiting for something to blow out, something to blow up. But yeah, put that on your meta page so people can think about it. I think it's interesting that they mentioned she was getting full presidential briefings or vice presidential briefings and emailing George Soros. And the other thing, there's many other things, but just what I got loaded in the studio. This got posted right here by Malik Obama. Now, you could put this on your meta page and tell them, don't blame me, talk to Malik. And they'll say, what's this half brother? I'm leaving it there for you to be able to get a screenshot, and then I'm going to enlarge it. Mr. Barack Hussein Obama, have you heard of him? Says passport. What do you mean, passport? What's it for? Colony and Protectorate of Kenya. Colony et Protectorate de Kenya. 8476 for Mr. Barack Hussein Obama, British subject citizen of the United Kingdom and colonies. Did you know that in Kenya you were a British subject citizen of the United Kingdom and colonies? Mr. Barack Hussein Obama. Isn't that something? Why would his brother post that? What's this say? The governor and commander-in-chief of the colony and protectorate of Kenya requests and requires, in the name of Her Majesty, all those whom it may concern to allow the bearer of this passport of this bearer to pass freely. What does that say? About, let, or, I don't know, it's hard to read. I got to double up my spectacles. Without hindrance, and to afford to bearer such assistance and protection as may be necessary. There you go. In other words, have some respect for a subject of Her Majesty the Queen. So, yeah. Miss Menderson, she said you got it. Elva, nice to see you. Who else is coming in here? All right. Yeah, we got a lot of people coming in. All right. So we had a big time last night talking about Pete Hegseth. And they're after him now. And this was my thumbnail for, I don't know how many you get to see. Wait a minute, where am I at? Where did this go? I got some videos on play. Try to get them done before the stream starts to break down. And I came across a video of the founder, the father of, they call him Singapore. I forget his name. And I played videos of him in the past. Well, I don't want to get rid of this just yet. I got to find something to replace it. Okay, I'll put this up. Trump posted this the other day. Wait a minute, right here. Trump put this up. There he is. Come on now. All right, my student. There's his name, at Real Donald Trump. What do you see? You see the seditious six. Now, Mark Kelly was on CNN today. I didn't get a copy of the video. And I don't want to give him a lot of FaceTime anyway. How much you want to bet? He's barely tall enough to get on the rides on Disney. That's just my supposition. You got the Napoleon syndrome. But anyway, Trump put this up about the seditious six. But Mark Kelly was saying, oh, he threatened to KILL me. He said that more than once, I believe, when he was on CNN. And Trump did no such thing. We've already discussed that. He put out a separate, disconnected, standalone truth that said the penalty for sedition is the ultimate penalty. He didn't put anybody's names on there. He felt it necessary. People took the seditious six seriously, okay? And that includes not just the enlisted, but members of the officer corps. You know, this strike they're talking about happened 3 months ago. 3 months ago. And, you know, I've heard it be said, and maybe you all heard the same thing too. Hi, Ann. How you doing? That the officer corps, you're not going to find a more gossip than any sewing circle anywhere in the officer corps. Or maybe not that bad, but a bridge club. Gossip flies around. And 3 months, and then this story comes out. It tells me that the disclosure of this anonymous source and the wording that it may have happened, and you know, it's fuzzy, you know, fuzzy, but it's a smear, a smear. It's just like Lyndon Johnson said one time about an opponent of his, a political opponent, little boys. And one of his aides said, well, that's, I've never heard anything like that. Nobody's ever heard anything like that. You want to put that out there? He said, yeah, I know he doesn't, but I just want people to think he might have. And that's Lyndon Johnson. Of course, he's no damn good. But anyway, so I think the timing of Kelly coordinating his speech with many of them, and they say ex-CIA officers, ain't no such damn thing. You're in the CIA, you're in the CIA. And in the 17th letter posts, we were told how members of the CIA were going to infiltrate the Congress. And here we are. But they're trained in psychological operations. So the timing of him coming out of the blue, unlawful orders, you don't have to obey them. You all know what they said. And then they let it take on a life, heat up, have conflicts with Trump. And then this 3-month-old situation pops up. Everybody's singing the same page on the mainstream Mockingbird media. Everybody using the same language. And they showed a video about gas prices. I'll put that up too. But you can see another example of a PSYOP, psychological operation, and terms to look for. Hi, Cotton. How you doing? Can you get a free handout? Christina, nice to see you. Like I say, I'm so broke I can't spend the night. But anyway, how do you get away with that picture you got there? There he is. There's his passport. Speaking of free handouts. Yeah. Oh, you're crocheting, outlandish? My mother used to crochet. She crocheted me mittens. And she crocheted me a scarf, and she crocheted me a hat. Remember when you had a string to go from one glove to the other, and you put your glove on, and that way you didn't, when your gloves fell off, you didn't lose them, and the string went across your back, and you didn't lose your gloves when you're a kid. But anyway, so I want to play that video about the gas prices, because you'll hear them setting up the narrative as they head toward a government shutdown. Where the hell is it? All right, here it is. I think this is it. As they head toward a government shutdown, did you know that we're in an affordability crisis? There is so many things I could pick out of Mark Kelly's talk. Like, where the hell were you? He's saying, I was helping with the Challenger disaster when Donald Trump was bankrupting a casino. I was doing this when Donald Trump was doing that. I was doing this when Donald Trump was a reality TV star. Well, where the hell were you when they were threatening military members and actually forcing them out of the service because they wouldn't take a certain medication, experimental medication? Where the hell were you? Where were you when they were forcing people to stay in their damn homes against the law, violation of their constitutional rights, deprivation of rights? Where were you when millions and millions and tens of millions of foreign entities flooded this country? Where were you when Tim Waltz was letting $1 billion scam go by? Gavin Newsom letting half the damn state burned to a crisp every foggy day when they needed money. So anyway, where were these people talking about an affordability crisis when Joe Biden had inflation at 9%? Anyway, listen to the keywords. One of them I already gave you is affordability crisis. That's their main thing they're hitting on. But what's funny about this video is they have to admit that gas prices have gone down, and it's good news for America.
In years, let's get to CNN's Matt Egan for the good news on this.
Yeah, absolutely. It's nice to finally be here with some good news on the cost of living front. So for the first time in 4.5 years, gas prices are averaging $3 a gallon nationally, according to AAA, down by 7 cents in just the past week. Gas prices were low a year ago as well, but they're even cheaper now. This is encouraging to see because late last month there was a period where gas prices were actually higher this year than last year, but that has reversed
again, and now we've just
look at that average they have of $3. That's what they're saying the average is in America. They're not pointing out that state travel fees and taxes and all this crap on there skews it. Normal states is a lot better, but anyway.
Fractions of a penny away from breaking below $3 a gallon. Now, as you mentioned, we've got 20 states across the country where the average is actually less than $2.75 a gallon, including North Carolina, South Carolina, Texas, Iowa, Wisconsin, and Colorado as well. Certainly nice to see this. Why is this happening? Well, it all comes down, of course, to oil prices, right? Oil prices are about $59 a barrel this morning. You look back in history, on December 1, 3 years ago, we're looking at $81 a barrel for oil, $67 even last year. So significantly cheaper. And that's because right now, supply of oil continues to outpace demand. It's U.S. supply. Production in the U.S. is at all-time highs. It's higher than last year, but only a little bit higher. OPEC is the big story, though, right? Saudi-led OPEC, they are ramping up production substantially this year. They've signaled that they plan to pause those output hikes next year. But for now, look, this is a good story when it comes to the affordability crisis.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, John.
For that.
Talk about the Saudis all you want. Don't bring up Donald Trump opening up Anwar. Don't talk about Donald Trump removing restrictions and regulations. We're going to be producing more than Russia and Saudi Arabia combined. Well, here she is. She went to the gas pumps. Here she is. I'll put her over top of Barack Hussein Obama's passport. Have you heard of him? But anyway, look at her gas. 182.9. What's this, Colorado?
The gas is $1.82, and I just paid under $16 for the gas. Colorado. I'm literally shocked.
We got $3.50 in Alaska. What was that? Where's my chats? There they are. $3.89 Rain said in California. Outlandish got $2.49 in Tennessee. Well, I guess we all got to go to Colorado and load up. So, yeah, that's pretty good. That is awesome. You crocheted Pokemon. I'll be darned. So anyway, it's good news for the American people. And CNN, whether they like it or not, they got to put it out. But they got to smear crap all over it. They can't just tell it straight. Here's that video I found of the founder of Singapore. He's the president for I don't know how long. And I got a video I got to find where he tells a reporter, "You're throwing poison darts at me, and I'd like to sit you down in your corner and set you straight." It's a pretty good video. But anyway, here he is talking about people dealing drugs in his country, what happens. Never mind these boats that Donald Trump is blowing out of the water, or the U.S. military is blowing out of the water.
If we could kill them 100 times, we would. Because you destroy whole families. It's terrifying to see, because you're then drug dependent. You steal, you cheat, you rob your own parents. I mean, it's soul destroying, and they come in knowing that death, if they are found with this goods on them, but the rewards are so great. And they try very unusual people. Women from Africa, big mammies, come to sell clothes. And in between the clothes are kilos of heroin.
And if you bring heroin into Singapore...
You hang.
You hang.
You hang. Anything beyond 10 grams, you hang. Below 10 grams, maybe you can say...
If you are convicted of bringing in more than 10 grams of heroin...
You hang.
You hang.
Needless to say, now he's passed away, but he was there for 20-something, almost 30 years. I don't know. Needless to say, he hangs some mammies. That's what he said. He said very unusual people come from Africa. The rewards are so great, and he said they hang them, and he's caught them. So that's what goes on there. Oh yeah, beef is totally out of control. They say it's the packing companies. A lot of them are owned by China. China. $4.46, Christina. Oh my word. For gas. Outrageous. Anyway, you know, remember me talking about this situation in Europe with the immigration? I said, don't get them Irish started. I know, because I got Irish in me, all right? Irish and Kraut. I'm a Mick Kraut and proud of it. New group emerges in Ireland. The new Republican movement claims its mission is to protect the homeland from foreigners. So, yeah, I don't like this. The Irish are fighters, okay? And they can hold a perceived grudge longer than any human being on the face of the earth. And this is not a perceived grudge, it's an actual grudge.
To the people of Newry, Mourne and Down, we, the New Republican Movement, have watched their councillors and MLAs over the past 12 months. The level of disrespect shown to the people who put you into power, this cannot be ignored any longer. We are proud men of Ireland, we are patriots. Your policies and decision-making in regards to flooding our communities with undocumented military-aged men is not acceptable. We will not sit back any longer and watch our culture and religion destroyed by the people we put in power. Also, the sexual indoctrination of our children in schools has not went unnoticed either. The New Republican Movement will take immediate action against anyone who threatens our ways of life and the safety of our women and children. We have your addresses and known your movements. Every one of you are legitimate targets as of today. The New Republican Movement, the 28th of 11/25.
So, yeah, you heard what he said. I won't repeat it. Look for trouble, start brewing in Ireland. Because it's oil and water. It's oil and water, and they're not going to blend, period. Oh, here's another one. Let me see. Oh, I have, this kid refers to a video. He says who he is at the end of the video. He refers to a video, I think I have it in here, from Nick Shirley, where he's going around talking to, let me see. Well, let me play this kid's video first. Here. And then I'll try to find that one from Nick Shirley. But Nick Shirley gets threatened and run off. But anyway, let me play this one.
Why are Somalians in America? Yesterday, a Somalian rear-ended me, which thankfully no one was hurt and no damage was done to my truck. But it got me thinking. Why are Somalians in America? Especially North Dakota and Minnesota. So, I looked into it. The main group bringing in Somalians is Lutheran Social Services. They are led by this guy, and this is his staff. And turns out, they get $2,375 for every Somalian they bring over. But we have to ask the question, why are they coming over here in the first place? And another surprise, turns out our government was funding a dictatorship in Somalia throughout the Cold War, led by Siad Barre. And this dictatorship led to clan favoritism and overall this destabilized the country. And it inevitably collapsed in 1991. Also, our troops were over there. This is where the movie Black Hawk Down comes from. But overall, Somalians have no right to be in America, especially North Dakota and Minnesota. They don't integrate into our societies. They carry over their clan mentalities. If you personally have never interacted with Somalian or just don't believe me, I would recommend checking out Nick Shirley's video he did the other day. What do you guys think about all this? Let me know down in the comments below. My name's Jeb Ball. Like and follow for more America First content.
Well, he said his name real fast. He needs to slow down a little bit and enunciate, Junior. Enunciate your name better. Diction, my boy. But anyway, not that I have perfect diction, far from it. But anyway, slow down for old people to listen. So anyway, we talked about gas prices. We talked about what are Somalis doing here. Somebody posted this on X today. Trump Whoa, did I cut my mic back on? Yeah. Okay, good. Here's Trump at the United Nations talking about climate change and migration. It's going to destroy Europe and America if we don't do something about it.
Your country is going to fail. Braggadocious way, but it's true. I've been right about everything. And I'm telling you that if you don't get away from the green energy scam, your country is going to fail. And if you don't stop people that you've never seen before, that you have nothing in common with, your country is going to fail. I'm the President of the United States, but I worry about Europe. I love Europe. I love the people of Europe. And I hate to see it being devastated by energy and immigration. This double-tailed monster destroys everything in its wake, and they cannot let that happen any longer. You're doing it because you want to be nice. You want to be politically correct, and you're destroying your heritage. They must take control strongly and immediately of the unmitigated immigration disaster and the fake energy.
Yeah, you're destroying your heritage. A double-tailed monster. And here we have Viktor Orban, who's going to be a big player in the Ukraine situation with Zelensky. And he lays it out about migration. And he sets one thing straight at the very beginning. He says entering another country is a crime, period. Stop. And that's the same with our laws. But the media has brainwashed people to the point where they say it's a civil matter. BS. It's criminal. But anyway, I'll let Viktor Orban speak.
The issue is so complicated. Legally, without a permission is a crime. Full point. It's over. Is a concept of changing the society as such.
Yeah.
It's a kind of replacement of the original native-born voters with somebody else. And this is, without being involved into any conspiracy theory, this is a well-detailed plan of the left. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because, okay, my understanding of the history is probably not as sophisticated as yours, but if I understand correctly, the last 150 years of the European, including UK anyway, the European politics, it's about a competition of two tribes. One is those who think that we should stay in the traditional frame and value system of Europe as it was. Nation, freedom, Christianity, that's all.
Yeah, and the other tribe he didn't say was the lefties who want to replace the native population. So, and he said, I'm not getting into conspiracy theories, but it's the left. They're planning it out. They're planning to replace people. And, of course, replace the culture. And they're going to bend the laws to do it. And if they get people in that don't understand the Constitution or hostile to the Constitution, but they take an oath to it fraudulently to become citizens, they can change the Constitution. Hi, Mac, how you doing? And we're not going to let it happen. We're not going to let it happen. But here's a story about this bonehead here. Bonehead boy is what I call him. Bonehead. See him? What did Bonehead do? It's a report by Christine. How do you pronounce her name? Put it on the screen here. She's a looker now. She's a looker. Christina Aguayo, a member of the U.S. Armed Force, Air Force, says he's not proud to serve a country that's deporting illegal migrants from, quote, stolen land. A U.S. Air Force network system technician, Christian Stevens, said he is not proud to serve his country because of the ongoing deportation of illegal migrant criminals. Stevens labels America as operating on stolen land. In a now deleted video, Stevens, an active duty airman stationed at Edwards Air Force Base, posted the controversial remarks where Stevens was seen in uniform delivering a monologue criticizing ICE operations under the Trump administration. Where do you think that the seditious six gave him courage? Do you think the seditious six gave him courage? In it, he argued against the deportation, against deporting illegal migrants, comparing it to historical colonization. I am not proud to say this is a country I'm serving if it means deporting migrants on stolen land. The colonists didn't have to pay thousands of dollars or get a visa to be on this stolen land. No, they just had to leave everything they knew, get in a damn rickety wooden boat on a wing and a prayer, and come over here and scratch in the dirt to grow food and try to build a civilized society, you idiot. I might lose the uniform I wear, but then what is the uniform worth if it stands for this? Oh, boy. After the video's release, Stevens was placed on a 72-hour involuntary psychiatric hold under California's 5150 protocol. 72 hours. That's 3 days. What did he say? Of course, I don't agree. It's idiotic what he said. But what did he say where his freedom could be involuntarily taken under California law for 3 flipping days? He was then handed an administrative discharge under the Uniform Code of Military Justice, UCMJ, for conduct prejudicial to good order and discipline. Did you hear that, Mike Kelly? And a violation of the DOD directive prohibiting partisan political activity while in uniform. And there he is wearing his uniform, no longer enlisted. You know, the involuntary commitment, I guess you call it, aside, I put a comment up, and I don't know how many thumbs up it's got now, but I put a comment up and said it had 356 thumbs ups. That's pretty good. He's only parroting what he's been taught for years by a school system that's been overrun by Marxist subversives. That's the truth. California, somebody said. So I had a lot of people agreeing with me. I mean, I had about a dozen people come in and agree with me. One person, who I think I've seen their name on Midas Trash Pail Network comments, said, "Way to go, hick," H-I-C-K, called me a hick. And I just answered, "Quiet, piggy. Quiet, piggy." So anyway, he's repeating what he's been told. So then somebody came in and said, let me see if I can find it. Was he lying? Or something to that effect. Let me find it. Whoa. What did he say was a lie or something like that? Is this it? Let me see. Oh, yeah, this is it. Officially Winter came up and said, "Where did he lie, though?" I said he repeated lies that were taught to him by an imbecilic teacher. We did not steal land. We settled and civilized through blood and sweat with savage pagans. And you know how I spelled this word Killing to make sure my comment didn't get taken down? I put Ki, capital I, lowercase I, N-G. Those are capital I's, not L's. But it works good with the word H-E double hockey sticks too, so you don't get in trouble. Savage pagans. K-I-double-L-ing, kidnapping, slaving. See what I did with cannibalizing? I put a 4 for an A. Devouring the livers and hearts of those they conquered. They had no written language or even the wheel. Very brave settlers tamed the wilderness and helped create the greatest civilization ever seen in human history. Ungrateful and uneducated twerps don't belong in the service or in any position of authority over other human beings, period. So that would be something good for you to modify to meet your needs. And, you know, it was a lot of typing, and I don't like sitting here typing away. Get a screenshot of it if you want. But I could have put in that they didn't even have a nation. They were warring tribes. Remember that. They were wandering, warring tribes. And some of them sided with, I've been over it, sided with the U.S. The Blackfeet is a good example. But I'm not picking on any group because I brought up, I think it was 2017 years ago, was the Battle of Teutoburg Forest, the Romans and the Germanic peoples. And the Krauts won. It was a major defeat for Rome. Well, they practiced sacrifice. They were barbaric pagans. And I'm a German, okay? I'm saying, before humanity got the word of Christ, they weren't very good people. That's why you had Sodom and Gomorrah. And that's why Noah built the ark. Yeah, right, Linda Marie. They probably had to look up most of our words. Funny how people that can't spell are going to try to oh, that's right, Gary. Yeah, Solomon wiped them all out. He probably did, to some degree. Because they certainly didn't have a way to defend themselves. But, so I was saying, where were you, Mark Kelly, when this was happening? Where were you when that was happening? Well, I have this little clip here of Trump on Air Force One. Whoa, come on now. And I had this yesterday, but you got to listen up good. Trump was talking. He ends it up by saying, I did my cognitive test. He brought that up earlier. And he said, I aced it, which is something you couldn't do. And then he looked at another reporter and said, you either. But anyway, they got the nerve to ask him for his MRI. When Joe Biden, everybody was talking about how he was shaking hands with shadows, getting ready to fall off the stage, doing the toddler squat was it Macron? and happened to be walked off the stage to change his diapers, and he stunk out a royal cocktail party, and he lost his bowels in front of the Pope. And they asked him what his favorite ice cream is. So here with Trump, who's going gangbusters day after day after day after day. Where's your MRI? They're with Joe, they're like, you like vanilla?
News Nation, failing News Nation. News Nation is doing lousy, by the way. But if you want to have it released, for what releasing?
No. What part of your body was the MRI looking at?
I have no idea. It was just an MRI. What part of the body? It wasn't the brain because which you would be incapable of doing. Goodbye, everybody. You too.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Goodbye, everybody. And you too, you couldn't pass it either. Did you notice that? He's rubbing it in the deep state's face, wearing that purple tie. We know it's a purple color revolution. We know it's a purple color revolution. And if people don't know what a color then the body. I mean, MRI shows your insides of your body and the outsides of it. So what's he do? President Trump releases his MRI results. No mysteries. He's an open book. An open book. But anyway, here's, I think this is Steve Miller talking about the color revolution that we're in. Been going on for years. And the passport you see is one of the people that helped ignite it. Okay? Turn it into an nationwide operational phase instead of a clandestine undercover operation. But anyway, here's Stephen Miller.
It for your audience perfectly, Sean. This was not a loophole. The Biden administration, Mayorkas, devised a scheme to fly illegal aliens into the country and then to escort them en masse across the border by the millions, and to give them something known as parole, which gives them a work permit, which gives them a social security number, which gives them access to the voting booth. This was the plan all along, to get them here illegally so they can get free government benefits, get hooked to welfare, and be able to participate in American elections. This was an attack on democracy by the Democrat Party. It's the same attack that we see, Sean, when you have California, a sanctuary state, that is refusing to turn over even illegal alien criminals and gang members to ICE. So these are illegal aliens in California who have been arrested by California police, by California law enforcement for serious crimes, for crimes against children, for felonies, for crimes that threaten public safety, and they are refusing to hand these criminal illegal aliens over to ICE. Instead, they're freeing them back into the cities to offend and offend again. By any definition, what California is doing is criminal. It is a violation of our laws. It is one of the most heinous things that I
ever seen, is what he said. No, to try to switch out the population. And all of these people who are swearing an oath to the Constitution are doing so in a fraudulent way. Here he is, Tim Waltz. Have you heard of Tim Waltz's billion-dollar scandal that's going on? That's the tip of the iceberg. Tim Waltz offers journalists free tampons to stop talking about the fraud scandal. They're not talking about it. Save your tampons, Tim, because they're not talking about it. They're going after Pete Hegseth over a 3-month-old story that they had to connive a national discourse first through Mike Kelly with a childish notion that any child would understand. You don't obey unlawful orders. Everybody knows that since Nuremberg. But no, you stir that pot And then you do the Hegseth distraction. Meanwhile, Kamala Harris was messing around with George Soros. Malik Obama put out Barack Hussein Obama's passport. Tim Waltz is getting busted for $1 billion fraud. Taxpayer money going over to a hostile group in Somalia. And they're not talking about it. They're talking about Pete Hegseth. I want to apologize for the language in this. But it's a young lady at a gym. She runs into somebody. You got to catch it because it goes pretty quick.
Can I take a picture of your shirt?
Yeah, of course.
Wow. I just want to show everyone what a fucking pussy you are. Have a great one.
Did you catch that? He's riding his little purple and white bike to get himself in shape. And he says, ICE is the KKK. And she said, well, thank you. I just want to show everybody what a wiener you are. I'll put it that way. You probably have to go back and re-listen to it because I'm not going to repeat it. But anyway, let's see. Trump put out this right here. Mark Kelly and a group of unpatriotic politicians were wrong to do what they did, and they know it. I hope the people looking at them, who could that be, are not duped into thinking that it's okay to openly and freely get others to disobey the President of the United States. I think we know what other people he's talking about. Don't you? Let's see. I'll go through Donald Trump. A lot of times I don't go through his... whoa, what's my screen doing? Can you all hear me? Yeah, my mic's on. Yeah. What the heck? Well, I got to wait a second. Oh, did he really, Debbie? Kelly was invited to this wedding. Here we go. There are laws that impact our nation. Read Title 18, Chapter 115, Section 2387. Whoever, with the intent to interfere, impair, influence the loyalty, morale, or discipline of the military and naval forces, to be fined or imprisoned up to 10 years. Commander Kirk Lippold, U.S. Navy retired. This is right on point. Do what has to be done. Yes, I concur 100%. You must do what must be done. So anyway, I'm trying to get this, I got to get something out of the studio and then put up the next thing. Well, since we're talking about all this stuff, Laura put out something else that I have talked about in the past and is pertinent today. I talked about in my last broadcast, I believe, didn't I? Joe McCarthy, what they did to him. And then what pops up today? Laura Logan puts this quick little video up about Senator Joe McCarthy just today. And remember, throughout the Roosevelt administration and ongoing, There have been members of the military and people, I've mentioned it before, high in the government who were avowed communists, regardless of the Communist Control Act, which has not been repealed and is the law of the land. But nobody's doing anything about it.
McCarthy was trying to warn us, wasn't he?
He was. Yep. And there's a lot of. Oh, he was trying to warn us, and he was absolutely right about almost all, if not every person he identified as a communist was in fact a communist. The hearings where he was lambasted by his enemies was a hearing that he called to interview people, and instead he got smeared by these people.
Well, I would encourage people to listen to those hearings, because when I listened to a bunch of them, I was amazed to see very, very senior, high-level people within the United States government, within the Department of Defense and at the Pentagon, who were sitting there on the floor of Congress saying, I am an avowed Marxist, and I'll be a Marxist till the day I die. And you're like, wait a minute, where was that in the movies?
Yeah, they did a movie and they didn't say a thing about that. McCarthy was right. There were Marxists in government and they needed to be thrown out. And now they're causing all this tumult and scheming. Here's another meme for you to put up on your meta page, because this is what it's boiling down to, folks. The slave class. Men like this are forced to work until they're 70. Remember, Rand Paul saying raise the retirement age to 70 because the government is bringing in more and more people like this. You know, you need to sprinkle a couple of more wives in there. The one who assailed our National Guardsman. He's got 2 wives. He's got one in Afghanistan, and he brought this one to America. And he had 5 kids with the one in America. Who knows how many kids he's had with his wife in Afghanistan? What's he doing here? And one of them apparently was born in this country. So I guess that's a new U.S. citizen to holler Allahu Akbar, right? What happened to that guy? I caught it out of the corner of my eye. Somebody put in the Allahu Akbar. I guess they're just farting around. I don't know. Really, Todd? Uncovered $2 billion. Yeah, just one of the scams is $1 billion. I have said. Oh, they got 12 kids altogether? Good gosh. This is what we're stuck with right here. A modern woman? Oh, no. Wait a minute. This, checking her phone. A delicate flower. Title revoked. The world's strongest woman. After organizers discover she is a biological male. I would have never guessed. You hide it so well. Here's another meme for you. How many of you remember this? 2025. All schools would be closed today due to strong winds. 1985. 2 twisters are heading toward the school. Sit on the floor and put a book on your head. We'll be serving pizza for lunch today. Yeah, it's a different breed now, isn't it? Here's what's her name? She's funny as can be. Carly Bonnie. She got taken down because she put a video up of Rachel Maddow crying. And she went, she's crying. Anyway, I got that video. Anyway, ICE protester gets 6 months. Can you tell the difference between a lawyer and a culprit? Yeah, well, at least they got 6 months. That's good. You know, if they didn't hurt anybody. But they interfered, they should get 6 months. She'll be out in less than that, but, you know, what else are they going to do, right? But besides sit in jail. It's not like they're taking time away from their job. Let me see. Is this the one about Eric Holder? Let me see. Aha, yes. Obama sycophant. Trump put this out. The former Attorney General of the United States, who did so much to hurt our country, and who weaponized the Obama administration against the Republican Party and me, Eric Holder, known as Fast and Furious, just gave a speech where he emphatically stated, above all else, the Democrats will pack the Supreme Court of the United States if they get the chance, with as many Ketanji Browns as they can find. The word is, he wants 21 radical left activist judges, not being satisfied with the heretofore 15 they were seeking. It will be 21, and they will destroy our Constitution. And there's not a thing that the Republicans can do about it unless we terminate the filibuster, which will lead to an easy win of the midterms and an even easier win in the presidential election of 2028. Why would the Republicans even think about giving him this opportunity? The American people don't want gridlock. They want their leaders to get things done, terminate the filibuster, and have the most successful 4 years in the history of our country, by far, with not even the hint of a shutdown of our great nation on January 30th. That's going to be their next card. The affordability crisis, the government shutdown. People are doing extrajudicial killings and violating the laws of war. It's chaos and catastrophe. That's going to be their game plan. Tyrants thrive on anarchy. Here he is, Eric, Fast and Furious Holder, Obama's Obama's wingman.
I think the Supreme Court is a broken institution. We cannot leave in place without a discussion, at least, and I think without Supreme Court as it is presently constituted. If there is a Democratic trifecta, has to be considered. Potentially expanding the court is something I think that also should be considered.
Your ass should be in jail. Okay? I don't usually talk like that, but I just did. Oh, did you all know that, is this it? Lebanese military jets escorted Pope Leo the 14th's plane as he landed in Beirut for a 2-day visit on November 30th, 2025. The historic trip marks a significant moment for Lebanon. Boy, that's a hairy place to go. Man, that is bad news. With the hopes that the Pope's visit will promote peace and unity in the region. Stay tuned as we bring you updates from his meetings and events across the country. Here he is in his plane looking at the jets that are escorting him. Well, they're not jets, they're prop-driven. Wow. That's a risky business there, man. But he's there. He should be wrapping up the trip tomorrow, I guess. So let's hope nothing terrible happens with that situation. Oh, here's some good news. Right here. See this person? Erica Deuce for mayor of Downingtown at Wawa. Meet Erica Dusso, the new mayor of Downingtown, Pennsylvania. She's a man pretending to be a woman who's now doxing ICE's live locations to warn illegals so they can evade ICE. He also encourages people to go harass ICE agents. Well, if you go to jail, you will be in a male prison. Thanks for the intrepid good neighbor. I'm able to tell you that this is a fresh ICE delivery near the Wawa on Root Road in Downingtown. Yeah, going to get people hurt. So maybe you should do 6 months or a year or 10 years. I don't know. Mike Kelly with all this madness going on. You're such a good American. Where are you at? Yeah, that's right, Sparky. Well, they're going to end the IRS, I believe. Where's that one? I had a post from day before yesterday I wanted to put up. I like that background, Barack Hussein Obama's passport, don't you? I said years ago that DeSantis was making Florida a template for other states. Governor Ron DeSantis is moving forward with plans to end property taxes in Florida. So that's the template. We're going to be seeing it. The trick is try to survive till then. Now that's the trick, isn't it? I had to go way down in the studio to get that one. Here we go. Here's Tim Waltz. Tim Waltz lives a TikTok. Trump was just asked by a reporter if he stands by calling Tim Waltz retarded. Trump's response, yeah, I think there's something wrong with him. Absolutely. Do you have a problem with that? That's how it's done. Never apologize or back down when speaking. Tim Waltz had a situation where, let's see if this is it. I'll get to it in a second. Where his own state union is putting out stuff about it. I'll put that up in a minute. But a transgender was charged in North Carolina for making threats against Ali Paksoy is reportedly forcing her to lie and refer to the trans male in court with his preferred pronouns, she, her. Activist judges want us to affirm the delusions of mentally ill people. That's what I believe what it said. Yeah, somebody assaults you that is a man that thinks he's a woman. You're the victim. You got to call them a woman. But anyway, I think this is it about the, Minnesota Department or DHS, Human Services. Tim Waltz is 100% responsible for the massive fraud in Minnesota. We let Tim Waltz know of fraud early on, hoping for a partnership in stopping fraud, but no, we got the opposite response. Tim Waltz systematically retaliated against whistleblowers using monitoring, threats, repression, and did his best to discredit fraud reports. You can bet your rear end the FBI is looking at this. Instead of partnership, we got the full weight of retaliation by Tim Waltz, certain DFL members, and an indifferent mainstream media. It's scary, isolating, and left us wondering against whistleblower Tim Waltz empowered the Office of Legislative Auditor, allowing agencies to disregard their audit findings and guidance. Media and politicians supporting Tim Waltz or the DFL agenda attack whistleblowers who are trying to raise red flags. Let me see. This is a cascade. Red flags on fraudulent activities. This is a cascade of systematic failures leading up to Tim Waltz. Agency leaders appointed by Tim Waltz willfully disregarded rules and laws to keep fraud reports quiet, even to the extent of threatening families of whistleblowers. These same leaders are not qualified for their jobs. Instead, getting leadership jobs via Tim Waltz's friendship. So state governments, let me find where I'm at now. We're left floundering, putting cronies in that don't know their rear ends from third base, but they get a big fat check. DFL lawyers refuse to acknowledge fraud. Oh, they're like worms in a clump of dirt. And deflected any serious conversation to stop fraud. Biased mainstream media such as WCCO and NPR showed absolutely no interest in covering fraud happening in our own state. Programs, especially in the behavioral health and disability services, were built without any guardrails against fraud, all in an attempt to extract more funding from legislature and the federal government. As staff, we firsthand witnessed and observed fraud happening, yet we were shut down, reassigned, and told to keep quiet. Sometimes more. Leadership, I guess they mean more than what they just enumerated. Leadership did not want to appear to discriminate against willing to take action, such as stopping fraud that would have an adverse impact on their image. To date, no single agency leader has been held responsible for their role in fraud. Wow. This is a 400-member group working for the state. Whether it's Shireen Gandhi, Jess Giel, Jody Harpstead, Natasha Mertz, Eric Grumdahl, or others. It is a structure created and maintained by Tim Waltz, who has created an environment of interrelated agencies and institutions, including the media, that help foster fraud through retaliation and turning a blind eye in exchange for political gain in the form of high-power agency leadership jobs or other perks. Fundamentally, Tim Waltz is dishonest, lacks ethics and integrity, has poor leadership abilities, and has never taken any accountability for his role in fraud. Instead, Tim Waltz deflects by blaming national politics for his own failings and distracts the public with inveterate lying. These lies include his reference of a budget surplus under his tenure in surplus. We had been given federal ARPA funds. I mean, this is a lot, but it's important. Whoa. We'd been given federal ARPA funds that were conflated as surplus money. Otherwise, we'd be in a deficit. And those ARPA funds, which were meant to be temporary funds, were used to create more leadership positions for Tim Waltz's buddies. Crony system. No-show jobs. As such, we can't fight fraud in Minnesota alone. Hence, why we're appealing to the federal levels of the government. We need all the help we can get, as Tim Waltz's agency leaders have their brazen approach in covering up their knowledge of fraud. We are grateful to numerous solid politicians, especially the Fraud Committee, and media outlets who are trying to halt fraud. We are also grateful to other whistleblowers who are bravely stepping up. Thank you. Oh my goodness. New York Times got a thank you. Thank you, New York Times, for bringing the plight of Minnesota to the national stage. Well, I tell you, that was a long treatise, but well worth paying attention to, because we're going to find out what's going to happen to Mr. Tim Waltz. Oh my God. What's going to come out of this, folks? What do you think? Do you think Trump's going to do something about this? BBC put bodily fluids on Nigel. They're putting on his makeup. And they've done it in the past. They put spit and other bodily fluids in his makeup, and then giggled while they wiped it on his face. And they don't say what the other bodily fluids are. BBC. Hey, Kelly, where were you when this was happening? What were you doing? Remember this? Thanksgiving guidelines. Gavin Newsom. No more than 3 households present. No parties longer than 2 hours. Guests must stay outside. Avoid singing, chanting, and shouting. Where were you for that, Mark Kelly or Mike Kelly, whatever the hell your name is? Here you go. Minnesota. Down with the USA. There they are in their little hijabbies, right? This is not the Middle East where America is hated and Muslim terrorists are born. This is Michigan. I'm sorry, I thought it was Minnesota. But same suit, different bow tie, same smell, different outhouse. Oh my goodness. Due to the deployment of American forces in the Caribbean region, electromagnetic interference is being created, especially concerning Venezuelan airspace, stated Cuban foreign. Why do you think they put the statement out? Due to the deployment of American forces, electromagnetic interference is being created. I think it's because they don't want to take Maduro's call. Let's go through this. What's this about? Was this a reserve distraction to smear Trump that they really don't need, but they're kind of keeping it alive? France introduces military service as Russian threat looms. So here, Trump is trying to get peace in Ukraine. He's got Viktor Orban, people in the region working with him, and France is threatening a draft and telling people that they're going to have to fight in the war. Working hand in hand. Let's see. The negotiations of the Ukrainian delegation to the USA have ended. The U.S. President tomorrow to meet with Putin, which was yesterday. Negotiations with the Russian president are expected on Tuesday, December 2nd. It is reported that the states want to settle all disputed territories with Ukraine today. Well, one of the disputed issues is that Zelensky's a criminal. The American press, and that's what I'll show you the reports. Putin says, I'm not dealing with the illegitimate president. In press reports that next week, a new wave of pressure on Zelensky from the U.S. will begin to speed up the process of signing a peace deal. Washington wants to act before the corruption scandal, where the offices were raided and Zelensky fired his chief of staff, or whatever he is. Washington wants to act before the corruption scandal becomes the center of attention. Mr. Zaluzny, who is now the ambassador of Ukraine to Britain, stated that a peace without complete victory over Russia is needed. You know, that's diplomatic talk for saying we got to give up some land. Oh, I'll get back to Ukraine in a minute. In the event of a direct attack by the U.S., the Venezuelan authorities are considering two options for self-defense. Okay. According to Reuters sources, the first option involves guerrilla resistance. Senior officials call it prolonged resistance. In this scenario, small military units are to carry out acts of sabotage and other guerrilla actions. One interlocutor said that the military has been ordered. Oh, I had to break that one up. Wait a minute. To disperse and hide in different places in case of attack. That's kind of like, the second option is anarchization. Anarchy. It involves using intelligence services and armed supporters of the ruling party to create unrest in Caracas and turn the country into an ungovernable space in the event of an air or ground attack. Oh, kind of like what you're trying to do in Portland. Reuters also writes that the U.S. may be betting on desertion by Venezuelan soldiers. They receive about 100 a month, which is about a fifth of the amount needed by the average family to cover basic needs. According to studies, such situation increases the risk of desertion in the event of conflict. Recall yesterday that Trump announced the closure of the airspace over Venezuela, and the media write that he personally threatened Maduro with the use of military force. The press writes that he personally threatened Maduro with the use of military force. So I don't know what happened with the phone conversation, but Cuba's saying, well, there's a lot of interference in the air. We can't get a call out. Anyway, the U.S. will consider the use of force against Venezuela if the country's president, Nicolas Maduro, does not voluntarily leave office. This statement was made by Donald Trump in a phone conversation with the Venezuelan leader, writes the Wall Street Journal. All right, now we're back to Ukraine. Zelensky and Yermak, the guy that got raided, and fired by Zelensky, supposedly, must be punished for crimes, not only against their own people, but against the USA. Former advisor to U.S. President Donald Trump, Steve Cortez, commenting on the corruption scandal. They're leading up to the $1 billion Biden deal with 10% going to big guy. They're leading up to the corruption with Hunter and the energy companies, and also Mitt Romney's son and Nancy Pelosi. Was it her son or her nephew that were making millions? And also the BIO labs. Look for Ouchie's name to be put into this. Dr. Ouchie. What do we have here? U.S. President Special Envoy Steve Witkoff suggested that the Ukrainian authorities, instead of asking for long-range Tomahawk missiles, should seek a 10-year exemption from tariffs. Yeah, you don't need missiles because we're going to tariff your rear end. U.S. intelligence agencies have provided the White House with coordinates of suspected drug trafficking locations in Venezuela and Colombia. Given the latest news, it is very likely that a strike will be carried out soon or a ground operation will begin. I don't believe it's going to be a ground operation. This is a reporter speaking, I lean more towards the former, which is typical of the Americans. Well, he's probably right about that. So we shall see. And Trump is not going to give him a heads up. He's going to act like everything's fine. Yeah. Yeah, I talked to him. FSB. Oh, my goodness. FSB prevented the endure of one of the senior officers. Now, you want to talk about loss of war? Of the Ministry of Defense in Crimea, which would be a Russian official, at the request of Ukrainian intelligence agencies. The recruited individual was a citizen of Ukraine, and he was supposed to bomb a military serviceman in his personal car. As a result, during the bomb placement, the agent was, capital letters, liquidated. One accomplice was detained. And here you see they're attempting to carry out assassinations. Here he is taking a nap. Yeah, he's taking a nap. He was trying to place a bomb underneath the vehicle, and they plugged him. Okay? They didn't run up and grab him and give him his due process. Okay? He's committing a hostile act. He's an unlawful combatant in disguise. No uniform, civilian clothing, committing a hostile act. So, no, you don't get, your due process is getting buried. An agent recruited by the GRU, relaxing. Crimean resorts are killing with their beauty. That's what the reporter said. So, yeah, there's factions in Ukraine that is going to continue to agitate using guerrilla warfare. The Ukrainian State Border Service has received an order not to allow Yermak to leave the country. That's the guy that got raided, the corruption scandal. Oh, wow. Iranian authorities confirmed discovery of a large gold-rich ore deposit in eastern Iran, reports the Iranian agency Fars. Oh, I think they're trying to unload the gold that Obama sent over on the C-130s without telling Congress or anybody. Oh, that's what we found. That's not the stuff Obama gave us. Yeah, he was due processed. You think he'll be in Israel, Bill? I think he's going to end up in the UK. He bought King Charles's childhood home. Don't forget. He's not going to be in Israel. Everybody wants to get Israel in. Seriously, he's going to be in the UK. Here's Erdogan. He's a tough cookie, too. The war between Russia and Ukraine has reached a point. This is President of Turkey, where it clearly threatens navigation safety in the Black Sea, according to Turkish President Erdogan. Targeted attacks on commercial ships in our exclusive economic zone on Friday signal a worrying escalation. It is worth noting that earlier, 2 tankers of the Russian Shadow Fleet were attacked off the coast of Turkey. Ukrainian media, citing sources, wrote this was an operation by the SBU. So they're attacking vessels, not really striving for peace the way Trump would wish that they would. Is this the one where, are they pronouncing this name right? Now, this is Ruski media. Republican Senator Malin. Who is that? I'm asking the chats. Who are they trying to say? Or is it another one of these senators nobody heard about, like Padilla, till it came time to disrupt Kristi Noem? We never knew about Senator Padilla. And we didn't really know about Kelly for very much till he started his crap. But I don't know who Senator Malin is. But he doesn't seem like a bad person. Let's see. Stated that Trump does not plan to deploy troops to Venezuela. No, he clearly made it known that we do not plan to deploy troops to Venezuela. All we're trying to do is protect our coastline, Malin told CNN. Recall on Saturday, Trump announced closure of the sky over Venezuela and soon spoke with President Maduro. And we don't know what the contents of that call was. I don't even know what this video is. Let me see. Somebody important. Huh. Oh, this is the governor talking about the guardsman. The guardsman. They say that he responded today to a nurse. This is the governor of West Virginia. They say he responded to a nurse that she said, if you can hear me, this is that Wolf, his last name Wolf, if you can hear me, give me a thumbs up. And he gave her a thumbs up. So the family's hopeful that he'll recover. I'm trying to find that one post that quoted Putin as saying he's not going to deal with Zelensky because they're a criminal regime. Well, this gives you an idea. Let's see. Armed Forces of Ukraine confirmed one of the units simply abandoned their positions, after which Russian armed forces broke through to Huliapol. But anyway, yeah, they're running wild over them. EU diplomacy chief Kaja Kallas said that a very quick path to peace is not beneficial for Ukraine. So the EU is working against Trump. Trump wants peace now. And here's the EU saying, oh, that wouldn't be good for Ukraine. Oh, I guess it's good to have everybody getting their heads blown off every damn day. Anyway, you have to take my word for it. I've got all these other posts I don't want to go through. Where Zelensky said they're a criminal regime, and so has Viktor Orban. He said they're like the mob. Yes, it's worth the wait. I knew it was going to be a long haul. And who knows what kind of earthquakes we're going to have to deal with a government shutdown. Oh, yeah, he usually posts while I'm live. Malin is a businessman, a plumber, and a member of the Cherokee Nation, making him the first Native American U.S. Senator since 2005. Well, thank you, Sparky. Sounded like he was all right. It's Malin, not Mullen. They spelled it right, but sometimes they, language translation, they get stuff wrong, but they got it right. I was just curious because I'd never heard of him. Let me see what this video is. There we go. What is this? Oh, you talk about signs of a sick society. People that are getting behind Luigi Mangione, running around with free Luigi signs, shame on them. But anyway, Luigi wants some really important evidence thrown out because he said they didn't have a warrant for his backpack. And he actually had the GUN that was used, not allegedly used, the actual weapon. But anyway, here's a report on Luigi.
New York City tonight, the high-stakes hearing for CEO murder suspect Luigi Mangione. He was seen smiling in court today until video of the shooting was played before the judge. And tonight, his defense team and what evidence they're now asking be thrown out. Here's Aaron Katursky.
Tonight, nearly a year after the assassination-style killing of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson on a New York City street, accused murderer Luigi Mangione back in court trying to get key evidence thrown out. The camera catching Mangione in a gray suit with a smile on his face, but later showing no reaction while watching video of the 50-year-old father crumpling to his death on the sidewalk. The Ivy League grad also saw footage of his arrest at a Pennsylvania McDonald's where the manager called 911 saying customers recognized the bushy eyebrows and thought he looked like the CEO shooter in New York. But defense attorneys say police had no warrant to seize and search Mangione's backpack, arguing the contents cannot now be used against him, including a red notebook in which prosecutors say Mangione revealed a plan and a motive, writing, "I finally feel confident about what I will do. The target is insurance. It checks every box." Police say the backpack also contained the murder weapon, a 3D printed gun and silencer. Today, prosecutors offered a supporting witness, a Pennsylvania correction officer who testified Mangione talked to him about having a pistol and it was 3D printed. Mangione has pleaded not guilty, David, and his attorneys are also trying to omit certain statements he made to police during his arrest. This hearing could go on for days. David?
Eric Katursky with us tonight as well. Thanks, Eric.
Yeah, they're going to throw that out. I don't think so. Anyway, I want to thank Mike and Bev for going by Buy Me a Coffee. What a nice surprise. They went by earlier this evening to buy me a coffee. This is a totally viewer-supported channel, by the way, if y'all didn't know. And let me see. I appreciate everybody helped out last week, too. Mike and Bev helped out last week, along with Gary and Wayne. So, whoa, what am I doing? All right. Anyway, I'm going to put a link in the description, and it works after the live stream. You can check the comments, the chats, and you'll see the link for Buy Me a Coffee. I guess if it ever shows up, there it is. All right. Anyway, thank you, Mike and Bev, for making sure I start the week out without worrying about getting skunked. So anyway, I'm just looking. Let me see. I'm just looking through the chats. Oh, I know, Debbie. Well, the PSYOP's been going on for decades and decades. It really started under the Actually, George Bush the first. George Bush the first. Here you go. I might as well show you this one. Put this up on your meta page. This is a totally confused man. And Joe Biden. Why would I say that? Why would I say that? I'll show you why. Somebody put this meme up. Or story, I mean. This right here. Congresswoman Sarah McBride issues a statement reminding liberal women to get their prostates checked after the holidays. Holy cow. What in the world? Gary gets a... this is good. I got this thing on the screen. I'll set up some booms for Gary. And it's uploading, and you'll see a bomb go off in a minute for Gary. Went to buy me a coffee. And, yeah, I'm definitely not going to get skunked out. Pow! There you go. Boom! Thank you, Gary. Pow! So, anyway. Who's sick of this crap? Well, you know, it's part of life. He wanders this earth like a hungry lion, don't you know? Hi, Graybeard, how you doing? And he's going to continue to prowl the earth like a hungry lion. I'll send you a bird flying by, Gary. Thank you so much for going to buy me a coffee. I'm going to set up one more boom. Pow! So I know you're sick of it, but it's part of life. Because of our original sin. I like that background. I'm trying to... what is this one? I don't even know. I hate these that are black screened.
Close your eyes.
Oh, this was put out by the White House. And it's a good one to end on, as I'm almost 2 hours. I'm trying to keep around an hour and a half, but I get into a trance mode, and I forget to ask for thumbs up. I forget to say buy me a coffee's link in the description. I forget all that stuff. And I just go on, and next thing I know, I'm way past an hour and a half. But that's what I'm trying to schedule them for from now on. Hour and 30 minutes. Gary Bush saw coffee. Outlandish, how you doing? So, anyway. Things are going smoother because I am not simulcasting on Rumble the last two broadcasts. It's a big difference, isn't it? So I got to upload these and then... but it's not letting me do it for some reason. But anyway, we'll catch up with you guys on Rumble. Anyway, what do I always say? Thank you all for spending your precious time with me. And I hope you enjoy this video. It's funny. Maybe clip it. I might get a strike because I don't know what the rules are with this footage. But it is a parody, so maybe I'll get away with it, folks. So anyway, enjoy this quick video. You all have a great night. I'll be seeing you soon. This is Mountain Man, over and out.
And tap your heels together 3 times. And think to yourself, there's no place like home. There's no place like home.
There's no place like home.